Hello, everybody. I apologize. I'm supposed to be in my show. Ori was here before me, and I don't know what's going on. So, multitasking. I'm telling you. So, hold on. I don't know where you at, dude. Okay. And then we're going to go live on BTR. I did not expect my meeting to go over, so you guys please forgive me.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 2, 1. Welcome to the Destiny Network. You have embarked on a journey of unbelievable resources and power. Your body,
it's a pain in the butt.
Your mind embrace you, and all your thoughts are trying, whizzing, and going into balance with self. Open that portal to the next galaxy, the next universe, the next dimension. Along this trip, our captain extraordinaire is Dr. Cicely B. Angel. Allow her to guide you, introduce you, and embrace our guests with great resources from the unknown to the known, to what we thought, to remove the illusion that you have about yourself, your surroundings, and your vortex of the matrix of which you live. Let's go and embark on this journey. Food Alchemy Network. Dr. Cicely B. Angel will be truly and truly along with her luxury guest that she has put on this luxury network of Food Alchemy Network. So without further ado, welcome to Food Alchemy Network and welcome our guests and our illustrious host, Dr. B. Angel. Blessings.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Everybody, it is, if you don't know, you're on Food Alchemy Network. And like every Monday that's been for the past 2 months, it is Coffee with Ori. And I am Dr. D. And there, right there, with the face, is Ori. Say toodles, y'all. Say hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you? And welcome to the podcast today. Today, we will be talking about
Prophetic Monday. Today is prophetic.
It's about
meaning things that were prophesied
by many people, not just by us, by me, or by Dr. D, but many people in our circles that not so much as that they prophesied it, that we prophesied it, but they didn't believe us.
Hello. Can I get a hello? So we're going to expand on that. This is part 1. And part 2, I just may have to do a show because, let's get announcements out the way so we can do this. So this show is going to be announcements out the way. Okay? For you out there, a lot is going on. And I
Mm-hmm.
finished the challenge of every day for 30 days. I am excited. Yay! I did it with the help of Ori on Monday. And just being consistent and getting new followers, which I'm thankful for them actually coming out and supporting us and me on those days of 30 days of being there in the room and chatting. For you guys that don't know, we're also live on BTR Radio, and there's a number that you can call in. So if you want to speak, and you will be heard on this video as well as on BTR. So the number is 563-999-3007. That number again is 563-999-3007. And the reason I say that, I want you to memorize this and get it in your brain. So you want to call, if you have a question, you can pick up the phone. Just like you see it on YouTube, you'll hear it on BTR. It's just that you'll be able to speak. Here, you can also comment on YouTube, which we like, or Facebook, or Twitch, or Twitter, and all those other social media. We're there, and we thank you for it. So that was one. So we're going to be having only certain shows. Wednesday show, cooking show, is not until I move into the new place. That is next year. So, but we will have tomorrow. I'll do a show if it's a part 1 to a part 2 of this show, and we'll follow up. We'll give really good as we get. And there's the Friday show, which is spiritual connections and readings, and then it's Saturday, sensational Saturday. Ooh, can you feel it? I'm just saying, I feel it. That's when we will talk and discover. For you don't know, I almost wound up in Facebook jail for my talk, because I said it was going to be explicit and graphic for adults only. I didn't lie about it. I had it in a tale. I had it in description. So that is how deep and dirty, if you think of dirty as sex is dirty, that's how we go, because it's my job to shine the light on this information that is shut in the dark in the closet. And I'm not in the closet. I'm just saying, I don't like the closet. It's dark in there. Turn on the light. Let us see. I'm just saying.
Oh, Lord.
I am feeling good today. It's a beautiful Monday. I'm kind of hot, so I know Spears around there, like, they probably, the fairies and everybody, they all flirting around and jumping around and doing whatever they want to do. But at least they ain't causing havoc, so I'm good with that.
That's all
So,
that matters.
right. So let's dig in. Let's begin to dig in. I'm ready. Woo! Let's go.
Well, about 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I remember I posted on my Facebook page that the earth will be shaking, that there will be many fires, there will be many floods, there will be many, and that there was something coming. So we needed to prepare ourselves, and it had to do with health, and many people would die. Now, I prophesied this and put it on my Facebook page, and I got a lot of negative responses from people that I know, like, why are you putting this up? Or why are you talking about this? And I just go by what Spirit says. I follow my spirit, which you know, because you've known me for 20 something years. I don't hold punches. I'm very to the point. But it kind of disturbed me because I think the part that disturbed me was religiously, the church, people that were Christians or supposedly born again Christians that didn't like the fact that I said this is a prophecy that will come true. So therefore, in their eyes, it was like it's not a prophecy because of this or that and this, that, or the third. Now, I believe that all of us have the power to be to prophesize. I believe that our spirit knows when something is wrong, definitely. What I don't agree with is the fact that if you're going to put something out there, I don't expect people to believe me, but if one person gets something out of it, I'm good. Now, I'm prophesizing again. now, today, that this virus is not over. This is part of it. This is one part of it. This is the virus that, although people may swear up and down that it's a virus, that it's mutating because it is a virus that is, normal. This virus is man-made, just like many other viruses have been man-made. They test stuff that they should not be testing. They mix things, and basically, what do? They create and they mix so many things together that when it becomes a super virus, they can't control it. And who are the experimental rats? We are. You put it in the air, and we see how people can withstand, which is another way of population control, although many people don't believe that. Now, what I can tell you is that there are two different sections for the COVID vaccine. There's one, and then I think a few months later, or maybe a month later, there's a second part. Now, I want you to keep something in mind, all of you. We don't ever know how big things that will be inserted into our bodies are going to be. We don't. So far, everything that it's been talked about in the book of Revelations and Sufis have prophesied, Jews have prophesied, many great prophets have prophesied. What's going on is already pre-written, okay? Because at the end of the day, Revelations is only about politics. It's not about anything else, just politics. So because it's about politics, if you really read between the lines and you read about the four horsemen or things like that, you're reading, it's about people, right? It's the four horsemen, right? Okay, so you're talking about the four most powerful families in the world. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on. Now, there's a lot of shift that's going to happen. And there's a lot of shifts that are going to be happening. And it's going to continue to happen on this planet. Mother Earth, she has a way of cleaning up. She always has. She's always made things disappear and started anew. But one thing that people are not noticing, you don't notice the obvious, or you don't. I think a lot of people don't put, two and two together. Think about how many rockets have been sent up to space since this gentleman was president. Think about how many people that were very, very, very rich became even more rich while this person is in office. Now, they have been sending ships up for the longest time. It's not hearsay, it's not rumors, and definitely I'm not crazy. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, well, this person, this is a conspiracy theory. You know what? The United States is a conspiracy theory. All of it. We live here. We do the best that we can. But at the end of the day, do we really know what goes on in our planet? Because we really don't. I can assure you of that. When there are things happening in the world, Spirit has a way of showing me. Many times they've taken me to the bottom of the sea to show me things that I need to see. I know that from the bottom depths, there are things arising that have been down there for thousands of years that have not come up, and they're starting to come up. Yep. They're blowing up mountains, and they're doing all this stuff in search of oil. And what they're doing is they're opening up portals that were closed a long time ago. And there's going to be more strange animals coming into this planet, and there's going to be things that we've never seen and phenomenons that we've never seen, all in the name of science. But in reality, it's not about science. This is real stuff. And we need to understand that, you know, although I'm not a fanatic, I'm not a religious fanatic, and I believe in everything that works. So if if you want me to sit down with you and you want me to worship, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna worship with you. You want to worship a rock, we're gonna worship a rock. You want to worship a statue, I'll worship a statue. You want to worship, for Jesus, I'll worship with Jesus. Anything that works, that makes people happy, I'm all for it. Happiness is the key to every success. But the scary part is that I need to let you know what is coming within the next few months. The next few months are going to be really, really crucial. If you are a person who has never gotten COVID, if you're a person who's never had it, who's been tested many times and never had it, don't take the shot. That's all I'm telling you. I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you, if your immune system was strong enough to fight it and you didn't get it, obviously your spirit has chosen you for something. You're here for a reason. We all are. Now, do I believe that this is the end of the world? I don't think so. I don't think the world will ever end. I think humanity will end. And I think that they are already making plans, and I believe that they have already made plans. And I believe, by reading, from what I have read stuff, and when they have shown me, there are a couple of planets that are just like Earth. And I'm sure that these people have found a way to get people there, because no one can tell me that they keep sending these big gigantic rockets and nothing, that they're not sending nothing now. They're always going to save what the people who they believe that humanity needs. The scientists, the doctors, just important people, but important people with money that they feel that are the ones that are going to be on the A list. So in reality, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be just choose people? I think that a long time ago, I believe that there were other civilizations that went through the same thing, and I think they were also chosen, and they were taken, and the civilization died, and then they grew. Another civilization grew out of it, and I just think that it's happening all over again. I believe that we are not alone. I know. Well, I know that we're not alone because I've seen things that will blow your mind. I know that this 5G has caused a lot of problems, and that it started to open a lot of portals. I mean, literal portals, because people may not believe it, or you might not even think, but we live in a dimensional world, a dimensional world. We don't live in let's just say the dimensional world. We live in a dimensional world, which means there are many dimensions, and we're just living in one. That's it. We're living in one. So every now and then, someone comes through a portal and they walk in and they walk right back out. And it's been proven, it's been shown. There's many videos on YouTube that are real videos that people were basically called crazy, and that they're fake, and that they're not real, and that you didn't capture all this stuff. But you know what? You have to understand that I don't believe that most of humanity is awakening, and the part is the people that are not awakening, they don't want to hear it. They don't want people to know that things exist out there. But what's happening to us, anyone who is spiritual, we are starting to open up, and our spirit is awakening. And because we're awakening, we're opening us up in many different ways, where some of us can see, some of us can feel, some of us can hear. So don't think that you're going crazy because you feel something, or you hear something, or you can feel a vibration. No, the planet talking to you and letting you know, prepare yourself. And in the preparation, it also pushes you or makes you feel like you need to get out of where you are. So in the second part of this, Dr. D will give you quick synopsis on how to leave the United States and where to go, where spirit will guide you that it will be safe for you, where you can raise your children and live a life. And even if you're not rich, you can live a life somewhere else and you can work hard. But these are things that are in the next episode of this, which will be with Dr. D. Now, it's not today, it's what day? Friday?
Today's Monday.
No, what day is it going to be? Friday, the second part?
Tuesday. Tomorrow.
Tuesday. Tomorrow. Tomorrow will be her second part. The second part will be, where she would talk about where, like, relocating and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, like I said. I'm not trying to scare anybody because if you want to believe me, you can believe me. I'm just a kid that was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey, and I know what I see and I know what spirit has shown me. And I could easily keep this to myself and not share anything. But at the end of the day, I choose to share because we need to stop being so naive and we really need to understand that something big is coming. And I don't mean just tsunamis and stuff like that. I mean, something big is coming. And if you think that the death toll that we have so far for this virus is finished, you're sadly mistaken. This virus will continue to mutate. Why? Because our government does not know how to leave things alone. They keep allowing other countries to play games with these bacteria, and we have a lot of bacteria and we have a lot of things that we ourselves, in this country, we test so many different things underground. And then if something goes wrong, what do? They usually pick homes that nobody's heard of. They usually buy the people that live in the town, and and if something escapes, they blow up the town, so nothing ever happened. So the reality is, how many times has it happened, and how many cities has it happened? There are people out there that live in the South that know that these things actually have happened, and germs and things have escaped. The reality is, it's like, okay, you have a cure for this, you have a cure for that, but in reality, you're the one who started with these things. So the body is used to preparing itself and fighting off things. But since we were taught to eat so poorly, our bodies can't fight off infections as fast. So it's up to the people, the people, to decide what you want to do and decide in which direction you want to go. The way you eat, the way you live, the things you drink. You don't know what you're putting. If a can of Coca-Cola can clean off battery acid, what do you think it does to you? Come on. If it can, if a can of Pepsi can be thrown on top of a car and it can melt, it can burn the paint off, what do you think it's doing to you? These are things that I never thought about. And as I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize that these are the causes of diabetes and these are the causes of many things. I've learned along the years that I never feel or never felt comfortable here in this country. I never have. And anyone who knows me knows, because I've always talked about it. I never feel safe here. I don't know why, but there's something in my spirit that doesn't feel right here. I don't know where. I know that when I go to Cuba or I go to another country, like, when I visit Colombia, went to Brazil, even Peru, like, I feel fine in other countries. I don't particularly feel safe here. And that's only because I already know what's going to happen here. And like I said, it doesn't have to be the end, but you have to start learning to be conscious of what's around us and understand that what you see if you see something in the sky, you need to understand that what you're seeing is real. You can't go by what the news is telling you. Oh, well, it was just this or that, or we were testing something now. If you see something in the sky and there are little lights flying back and forth, there is no aircraft known to man in the United States or any other country that can move like that. Things just move straight, or they move up, or they move down, but they don't move across and zigzag. They don't do that. So
Okay.
when you're looking at the sky and you're looking at things, understand that this is an evolution. This is an evolutional change that's already occurring.
I need to
These.
interrupt 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Someone wanted to ask a question, and he's in here. And I'm trying to type as fast as I can, but the machine is kind of like clicking in. So yes, we will be taking questions. And what it says, I said, you don't have to believe anything, take it with a grain of salt, what we're saying, and actually do your research yourself if you're not believing what's is being said. I'm not
Mhm.
saying you gotta agree with everything. Do your own research. I'm not saying that my mouth is the gospel, the Bible for all tune, and neither is Ori. But if you don't believe what we're saying, do your own research outside. And when I mean research, make sure when you're looking at your research, it's not backed by somebody with something in mind, because sometimes researchers are faulted because a company has bought them to do that. Go back behind the company and figure out what it is. That's what I was trying to say. He says, why would I believe you over the millions of reputable scientists worldwide? They said the earth wasn't, what was it? The earth wasn't warming. Now what's going on? So don't believe everything. Find out for yourself. They said there wasn't chemtrails. Chemtrails. What's chemtrails? These are things that we get so caught up in believing because we're told, or we watch these TV where our mind is programmed. And did you hear I said program? There's a reason why they're called program, to program your mind. They know you function like a computer. They know that's what they did. That's why they put these big TV, radiation, feeling, non-function, shutting down your brain, calcified food for shut down your pineal gland so you wouldn't be able to function and get a clear understanding and make sure that you're connected to the source that's outside yourself without having to go to the storehouse to be in the poorhouse that they call a
But don't go.
sanctuary, a church. But
But
I'm
don't
not going
go.
to go there.
Don't go
I'm
so
sorry.
far. If they want to find out, they can find out how long. How long the United States has been putting fluoride in the water. One, and why. And it will give you the history. Go back all the way to the history from Germany and Russia. They also, you know what, you can also, all these scientists, like I say, yeah, scientists. Yeah. But to them, GMOs were not real. They weren't real. They're just seeds that the government want to give people to grow things. But what happened with the GMOs? Your stuff grows today. And this whole year, everything grows and everything grows and beautifully and quickly. But then next year, you can't use your dirt unless you
Right.
buy chemicals that are made by the US, and then you add the GMOs and then it grows, but then it dies again. So it's not, it's the pharmaceutical companies that are creating these things. And the bottom line is, what you don't realize is that the FDA approves them.
Asha.
And they do. So
Yes, I do.
the question is, forget about how many scientists there are in the world. Let's think about who owns the places where they work, who owns their research. Remember, there's only 4 families in the world that are the richest families in the whole world. 4.
Asha.
Okay.
And
And
they're all
and,
connected.
and they're all connected. But guess what? The Vatican is one of them. So it's 4.
Hello.
So at the end of the day, you have to really look at things and you have to analyze things. You have to ask yourself questions that you don't want to ask yourself. That's the problem with the United States. We have been programmed to be so lazy that we just believe everything that we see and everything that we read. It's not that it's not fake news. It's not about that. I love journalists because journalists really get down, especially investigative journalists. But the problem is this particular gentleman who's been in power has tried to degrade what it is to be a journalist, try to make them feel like they're horrible, and they're really not. Good journalists are hard to come by, and the ones that are there are willing to do the work, and they don't even get paid that much. So if you want to go and believe scientists, that's fine. I'm not telling you to believe me, but trust and believe when I tell you I'm 54 years old, and at the end of the day, I have seen things in this world that will blow people's minds. And as a medium, the people who have been around me who know when spirit comes down, it's not fake, it's real. You
Hell
know?
yeah.
So
I mean, I didn't mean that.
at the end of the day, spirit has a message. Spirit's always gonna talk. And like I said, all I'm doing is I'm trying to let you know that this whole virus thing, this man said, "Oh, we don't have a problem. It's gonna go away." It didn't go away. We'll have a cure by. No, you did not. We have this. No, you did not. And the thing that makes me laugh even more is that this country is as smart as people want to be.
They're
They're
dumb.
not, they're dumb because they don't
I'm
do the
sorry.
work. They just accept what is told, and that's the problem. Because the society that came before us and the society before them,
Mhm.
they sat down and have allowed the government to just do whatever they want to do and not complain, not do anything, and the government has taken control. And the reality is that people have to understand that we don't work for them; they work for us. And
Right.
the same way we vote them in, and technically, it's usually not us. It's usually other people that actually are diligent and they read and they go and they place their vote and they do what they have to do. But one of the things that you have to understand is that whether you believe or not, there is something coming. I'm saying it now. Today is, I think, is the 14th. It's 12/14 of 2020. Listen to me very carefully. This is just the beginning of Earth moving and shaking and doing whatever. It's about to get even worse. Different.
Ugly.
It's not gonna. We're not talking about outside this country. We're talking about inside this country. There are
Yeah.
gonna
That's what I'm talking about.
there are gonna be more earthquakes. There are gonna be more floodings. There are gonna be more and more and more thunderstorms that bigger than you've ever seen.
Right.
There's gonna be a lot of There are gonna be more and more and more sinkholes, and not just here in Florida. Everywhere there's gonna be sinkholes,
Right.
one after another, after another, after another. People are gonna
And
start getting sick after this injection. They're going to start getting sick. People are really going to start getting sick. They're going to be fine, and then they're going to get sick.
okay. Okay. Let me step in. Okay. Now, because we got this guy, he's going back. He said we sound like conspiracy theorists, which I don't think so, because what we're saying is facts. Like I said, always look up everything that I'm saying, he's saying, and he just says sounds crazy. Um, what else?
You said
Why do you
what?
think that? He says things. I'm going to go back and read everything.
If it sounds crazy, what about what about the president that's here now? He's crazy. He sounds crazy too. So
Yeah, but well,
he's saying
like I said, they don't want to go there.
he's saying we got. He just said not too long ago that we have weapons of mass destruction that no one will ever believe the kind of weapons we had. He said that publicly. So is that conspiracy theory too? I mean, come on, really? You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to believe me. I said this earlier. We're not,
Right,
it's not a conspiracy theory. Everybody thinks that
right.
people like this are crazy, but only the people who are mediums and spiritualists and psychics, they know that what we're talking about is real because we all feel the vibration.
Yep.
Okay?
So,
That's simple.
but if you want what I always tell people to get them really to understand stuff, look up the Philadelphia experiment.
It's real, but many people think that it's not real.
Right. Look up who there's people that's already known to be Okay, someone says I have Sherry says I have a terrible sense of foreboding, and I'm feeling like there's something big is coming too. I'm not rushing to move into the new place. Oh, why I feel this? What's coming for me? What am I feeling? Huh? Okay.
I have a terrible
All
sense
right.
of
Can
foreboding,
you
and
hear?
I'm feeling like something big is coming too. I am rushing to move into the new place, not sure why. Well, Mother Nature is talking to you. Your spirit guides are talking to you. It's your inner voice. We all have it. If you really read scriptures, scriptures talk about herbs that we should be taking, foods that we should be eating, but yet we don't do it. And
Right.
when you have an awakening, which is happening to all of us, brothers and sisters, we're awakening because we're starting to realize that if we eat better or we start doing better things, we will be better for it. But what you don't realize is as you getting better, your ability to feel is becoming that God feeling is coming. So it's connected to everything. You are part of everything in this planet. So it's letting you know that something is coming. And if the spirit is pushing you to move somewhere, listen to it and move. And you will see that once you get there, you will feel comfortable. And that is where you need to be. Because a lot of places will not be affected. And I'm not talking about tsunamis and stuff like I said. I'm talking about many things. Many things. The fact that people can come into your house because you say something on the internet and they can break your door and say all this crazy stuff and things happen to you, that's not a coincidence. People know. And a lot of people that are in higher ups, they know what the revelation is not fake, it's not phony. And although it's been prophesized, come on, we think that it's not. It's been prophesized. Everybody knows that there's a shift, and everybody can feel it when people don't want to feel it.
Right.
So you're doing the right thing. Follow your spirit. If you need to move, move. If your spirit is telling you to take your family, grab your family, give advice, give it. If people don't want to listen, don't worry, because there will always be someone that will listen, even if it's just one person.
Right.
Simple.
There you go. And also I said,
90 seconds.
wow, we've been on for some time. Didn't realize that. Okay. All right. So what I am going to do is I'm going to play the commercial for Blog Talk, even though we're not getting off, saying good night, and then I'm going to shut it down. But it's a lot more that we got going on. So come on, Blog Talk.
Welcome to 60-second work and you taking the time to relax with us. I want a laser, blissful, wonderful time of return. I want to show you my appreciation from my heart for you taking the time out of your day and keeping me company on this rain of knowledge of the other galactic, to the other side of the universe. Thank you for being part of Food Alchemy Network. Food Alchemy Network, thank you. And the guests, I thank you for allowing me to sit in the seat and accompany you and share 10 seconds information and giving it your most highest, supreme understanding, overstanding, and all of that above. So thank you, my illustrious guests. Food Alchemy will not be anything without you, my audience. Stay tuned. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All righty. Let's get into it. Get. Sherry said thank you for that insight. We are actually doing really good, so I'm very happy. Oh, that we're able to touch on the things.
You know what's really funny? And it's not funny, but you know that Bob Marley, he spoke truth.
Yes, he did.
And he felt vibrations and he saw things and he had visions and people were afraid of him. Even
Right.
even the government was afraid of him. And at the end of the day, he was right.
They killed him.
Tupac made it very
Yep.
clear. He also was very sensitive, time sensitive. You know, let's say, you know, we are white lighters and there are time keepers, and then there are star seeds, and then there are people who do other things. And the thing is, people don't want to realize this because it's too much for them to even handle. If they can't even handle paying a phone bill, how do you think they're going to handle this?
Right.
And in reality, okay.
So what do you think Tupac and Bob Marley were? You think, what would you give them, light workers?
I
What do you
think
were fair?
well, Bob Marley believes that that love was the cure, and that we have lost the idea of love, and that we have that our bodies, because they were starting to become so impure that we were not thinking right, because we were drinking the whatever the white man's water. And at the end of the day, it's like, drink coconut water, drink this, drink that, be healthy. That way, what? Your pineal gland. Okay. And like I said, people research it. Research how and when the United States started to use fluoride and why. It will surprise you and outstand you. It will outstand the fact that they use fluoride to stop your pituitary gland and your pineal gland, which are what connects you. That's the biggest thing. And like I said, it's not a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying that it is, because if it was a conspiracy theory, which I've had friends that believe that, and they're no longer my friends. At the end of the day, I can't say what I see and what I don't see. I know what I've been shown. I know what I see. I know where I've been. I'm not saying I've been abducted. I just know where I've been, and I know what I've seen, and I know what spirit shows me, and I know what exists on this planet that most people will be shocked to know that there are things that live in the planet already for many, 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 many centuries.
No, longer than that. We're not talking centuries, talking about thousands, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000.
But I'm talking about, like, what is this gentleman from, I forgot what country it was. He's, in the mountains, by a volcano. He saw these people that were white with blonde hair come out of this like volcano area, and they're like, how the hell do these people come out? They didn't have any clothes on, and they had like these big eyes. Well, you know what? I think they've been cloning people for the longest time. I don't believe that we haven't cloned. I don't believe anything that we do, we don't overdo. I think we just like every other country, no matter how good the scientist is, there's always a lie behind a lie. And how can you prove there's always a lie behind a lie? I'll give you an example. I'm a diabetic, and I used to take metformin, and I stopped taking metformin when I started to feel like crap, and I was always feeling like crap. And then they want to give you something else to take the effects of the metformin. Then you get a different effect from something else, and then they try to give you something else for that. So at the end of the day, I eat one meal a day. One. I drink coffee because I love coffee. That's why it says coffee warrior. But today I'm drinking water. I watch what I put into my system. I make sure that I wash everything well. I make sure that, before I cook it, I make sure that, I kind of like look at it and inspect it really well, peel everything really well. And it's not being a fanatic, it's just being more cautious. And since I have done that, and I have watched everything that I eat, my A1C has gone down to 7, and that's pretty high too. But 7 is really nothing compared to the way it was, which was almost 12. So, I always tell you that. I have, with my last checkup, which was 2 months ago or something like that, 3 months ago, what was it? And I had no cholesterol problems. I had high triglycerides before, none now. And, my liver function is fine. My kidney function is fine. My pancreas is fine. At the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with me. My mind is very clear. My mind has always been clear. I've always been a seer since I was a little kid. And my mom, she used to always laugh and say, "Why are you telling me this stuff?" My mom is also medium. I come from a long line of mediums. So my mom never said, "You don't see it." I was always warning people about things. And then when it would happen, they would say, "Oh, you made it happen." No, I didn't make it happen.
Right.
I can't make things happen that are happening now. I just know that it's going to get ugly. And not just with medical stuff, it's about to get ugly with people.
Yep.
Because people are going to take to the street and it's going to get ugly, real ugly. And the only thing that we can do, people who are light, and I mean light workers, and I basically say this wholeheartedly, there's nothing wrong with prayer, but white lighters have to stick together. We have to send love out. People, Reiki masters, send love out. People who healing, send love out. Because you know what? If you start to send love where there's hatred, things can start changing a little bit at a time. And it's just simple. It has nothing to do with the Bible. It doesn't have anything to do with science. It just has to do with we've had so much hate so long and it hasn't worked. So why don't we just try kindness and love? Maybe that will bring the planet back to the way it's supposed to be. That's all I'm saying. The message that I was given, I gave, and I'm not. If you have any questions, you can write to Dr. D. Dr. D can, or when you catch me next Monday, you can ask me yourself. But conspiracy theory, there are many of them. Go online, go to YouTube, see how many people are saying the same exact thing, and I don't even know them. I don't even know them, and they don't know me. But we're saying the same exact thing. So not everybody can be wrong. Not everybody can be wrong.
So this is a thing that I've always talked about, even as a food alchemist from the beginning. You have to clear your body. And I believe you're supposed to clear your body spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I mean clean. And some of us, people are already being ugly, road rage and shootings or rampage. Yep, that's true.
And that's not the devil's word. That is not the devil's word. That is something that has been written and it's supposed to happen.
Right. So when I say you clearing your body, I've been talking to you guys of fluoride for about 10 or 15 years about the fluoride, how it started in in Germany by Hitler for the Jews in there when he had them in there, why he made them drink the fluoride. It was an experiment of their mind. It's in history. They told you what he did. And then somehow the dental company got involved. And guess what? Now when you go to the dentist, you get more fluoride. Now your toothpaste is more fluoride. So you're getting fluoride in not only your pineal gland, but also your thymus gland is not working very well because you got calcification. Calcification comes from the food that you're not eating. The food that you're eating that has these poisons that basically shut down your communication for you to be in tune with nature. Because if you look at the animals on the planet, they know when something's going to go erupt and they move. They fly away, they swim, they do all kinds of things. They show you in their body the distress that Earth is going to. They'll come out and they'll go another way and the opposite to try to get away from the destruction. It's not that they got the news on, oh, there's a volcano, it's going to happen. They feel it. We are so out of touch with that because we're not cleaning our bodies. And back in the day, parents used to actually give you stuff to clean out your body during those times. My friend said her grandmother would give her tar, something called tar. And she would take it and it would clean her out. And my other friend said they used to take pine, something from the pine tree, and boil it and actually drink it. So these are things that are in nature that help them clear their body. These are like old-fashioned remedies. Don't do anything I'm saying right now until you work with someone that knows what they're doing. I'm just saying these are things. Some people do enemas. Some people get colonics. There's reasons why all these things are in place. There's ways to wake up, doing the thymus thumbs, doing the EFT, and that's topping. There's so, and I know, these are things that I do myself to keep myself open and be able to communicate. So these are things that I've said, and I said it time again. And the person that's on here, she can verify that I said, even after the election, it was going to get crazy, and even when they made a decision, it was going to get crazy. I said during that time, I've been saying this for. I told her, I think we talked in July, how ugly it was really going to get, and she's been there, and she knows I've been saying just how ugly it's going to get. Not just that, but the vibration that people are vibrating on. In 2017 and 18, they were actually doing meditations worldwide to connect together. There's another friend that was doing Qigong that was sending out love to connect, to bring the world together. And they did it, but somewhere along the lines of meditation, we forgot to make the connection of healing and love. That vibration is sprouted to hatred, anger, jealousy, confusion, and that has been spread by the chemicals, like I said, in your food, but also the chemicals they put up there. And like I said, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's been talked about, but also he's not out of his mind, because I even told you myself, you can take it with a grain of salt. I don't give a crap what you feel, what you say. I already told y'all, I've been telling you for the last 10, 15 years. I don't believe my DNA is from here. So you want to take that to the bank of salt. It's been in the Dogon tribe. Chief, what's his name in Africa? What was his name? I can't say his name right. The chief that would have the scales from the planets from Sirius A and Sirius B in Africa, Mentwan. You know who I'm talking about? The African priest that was telling them, David Icke and all of them, about the stars and then the planet. His chief
I know who you're
and
talking about. I just can't.
right, you
I
know
can't.
who I'm talking about.
Mhm.
So this is not conspiracy when we talk about galactic. And I'm telling you what you think you see. In order for a planet or a group of people to go through the destruction they go through, they first have to put it out there. They have to put it in print. They have to put it in movies, and they do that. And you think it's a form. Are you ready for this? A form of entertainment. For them, it's a form of entertainment. For you, it's life or death. See, the thing is, you don't realize certain energies feed off of that fear. It feed off of that anger. But do you know the strongest energy out there and that they're scared of is love? Could you imagine if I
Well,
love a
well,
person?
because it's energy, honey. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's energy, but do you know what too? What people don't realize is frequencies, vibrations, vibrational energy. People. I mean, I have this thing where I can go anywhere, and I can, if the vibration is too high, it feels like my eardrum is going to blow, and no one can hear it, but I can hear it, and it's very a weird deafening sound. And just like when I can walk into a room and just tell when it's darkness, when there's so many people that are hateful, I can just look at them and know that they're hateful. They're angry people, and the world is angry because everybody wants to be rich. Nobody wants to be poor because being poor is not good. Okay, I understand that, but you know what? If I have to choose between being rich and being happy, I always choose happiness, because happiness might not buy me much, but it buys me the ability to make sure that my body is feeling good all the time. So therefore, I don't mind working or plowing in the field to get what I want if I need to do that. Do you understand? And you're right. Love is the most beautiful thing. Native Americans, with this is not conspiracy. This is real shit. Native Americans believed there were now. Well, let's start from the beginning. For people who don't know, there were not just 25 or 30 tribes. There were many, many hundreds of tribes,
Tribes.
hundreds all over. But you know what? we don't know. Well, let's say
Some of us don't know.
some of us don't know, but the Europeans that came into this country were welcomed into this country with open arms. And just like the savages that they were in their country, they came into this country and they killed them all because they wanted something that did not belong to them, which is land. Now, the natives that are here, they suffer and they live in a land in masses of land this small. And there are, I think the Shoshone tribe is not one of them. There's a couple of tribes that actually have been doing really well, that live well, that are doing well. A couple of tribes, but there are still a lot of them that are poor, and there's a big genocide. The women are being killed, and it's been going on for a long time. And people will sell. They will sell their soul for alcohol, and they will sell their property so that big companies can go and they can dig up their land for what? You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, this is not conspiracy theory. I mean, look at what they did with the black experiment, with the syphilis and stuff. That was real, but yet we didn't learn that in school. We didn't learn
No.
it in school. We learned it after. Okay, and it's the same exact thing that happened in the United States. It happened in Puerto Rico. It happened in DR. It happened in Haiti. The same exact thing. Okay.
Mhm.
For a long time, people would say, "Oh, well, my grandparents came here. They migrated here, and they were treated this way." But guess what? No matter how much you think your generation was treated like crap, think about us. Think about us, our minorities, how our forefathers were treated in this country. They were treated like shit. They were treated worse than feces. And at the end of the day, we are the descendants of people who were amazing, people who can actually see beyond what we're looking here. We think that we're here, but we're not here. And then you talk to people and they look at you like you're crazy. But the reality is, all we're trying to do is help. All we're trying to do is heal. All we're trying to let you know is that whatever bitterness you have inside, get it out. There's no reason to be bitter. Whatever sadness you feel, get it out. Anything that's bothering you, anything that's making you, it weighs you down, get rid of it. You're not a boat. You don't need an anchor to weigh you down.
Hello.
Just be happy, be yourself. What does it matter what people think of you? What does it matter if people see you smiling and they think you're crazy? That's okay. Doesn't matter. But happiness, love is the structure. And Native Americans, I don't know if you're aware, I don't remember what year it was. I would say maybe in the 80s or something like that. Or could have been before or after. There was a time where there was something happening in the earth. And I don't know if there was a meteor coming or something like that, but this was a while ago. I know I was very young. And the Native Americans came to Washington and they chanted, and many people, and they chant and chant and chant. No, I'm sorry, not the Native Americans. These were Buddhists. They came and they chanted, chanted, and somehow whatever was supposed to happen didn't happen. Everything shifted because
Right.
all they were showing out was love, love, love. Do you understand? And I believe that if we learn, I don't care what anybody says, we're never going to find that humanity is going to want to be so immersed in who we are. You understand what I'm saying? Not after this decade of 4 years of what this country has been through, where they're allowed to show their hatred and their anger and their fear. And what I find to be really, really interesting is that we're called so many things, and at the end of the day, I've worked, you've worked, our families have worked, but yet we minorities are the ones that are pointing, oh, well, we don't want to do this because you're on welfare. Well, you know what? Guess what? The people who are on welfare, they're mostly white. The biggest amount of people on public assistance are white, and it's been proven. And it's in these poor states like Mississippi and Kentucky and all those poor states. And at the end of the day, why is it so important to keep them down? Do you understand? To keep them down and make them hate everybody else. Why is it so important? There's something that's happening in the world, and it has been happening for years, that it makes people look at things and look at people in different ways. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get it. I mean, if you read, I mean, like I said, this is not taught in school. If you read half of everything that goes on in the world, you know that the black person or African American, or whatever you want to call, they created mostly everything. Yes, mostly everything was created by them. And at the end of the day, because of their color of the skin, they couldn't patent these things. So therefore, everybody else took credit for it. So at the end of the day, was it a conspiracy theory when they felt that this could work and then they did it? No. What we feel as white lighters, as spiritual people, we're starting to feel the energy of our ancestors that are coming. Do you understand? They're coming. And as they keep coming closer through water, through air, they're coming. We're feeling it. We can feel the energy of our ancestors in the trees. Why? Because we are connected to everything. People that
Right.
don't people who spend their time drinking Mountain Dew, who don't care about anything, they can keep drinking Mountain Dew because you know what? At the end of the day, the same way Mountain Dew is made, that's exactly how their body's going to turn green because it's got a lot of stuff in it that's not good for
Oh
you.
yeah.
But anyway, at the end of the day, what I said earlier, and I keep saying it, and I keep saying it, and I said it once, and I'm just letting you know. I will not repeat this whole thing that I said earlier about what's going to happen. I already said it once. I said this almost 2 years ago. What was going to happen then, and it happened. And I'm telling you what's coming next. You can believe me if you want to, but when it starts to happen, you'll see that at the end of the day, I just wanted everybody to be really, really focused that, that they're strong enough to handle it. But obviously, a lot of people are not. So, you
With
go
that
and
being
talk.
said, with that being said, I
Right.
want you to prepare yourself because I was telling you how you can do some maintenance things that our ancestors have did, of your grandparents have did to keep your body in alignment and balance. And the thing is that I think is more important than ever is to grow your only fruits and vegetables. I've
Amen.
been telling you that for years. If you're going to get meat, know where your meat comes from, what it eats, know the farmer where you're going to get it from, find another family that wants to get the meat where the same place where y'all can split it and do that, or you're doing it yourself where you're fabricating and you're growing your own livestock. And and this all plays a part in this way of helping your body because you know where your meat is sourced from, where it clean, how clean it is, and how close to nature it comes from. It went from farm to actual table. This is the way we used to eat, not that process. And I believe the processed food and all the chemicals and everything they put in the food to process it, even the meat, they even have fake meat out. I watched them use this meat glue to stick these steaks, these beefs together and called it a ribeye steak, but then they want to charge you this price. You got to really know, I don't like no lean steak. I don't want no lean steak. The fact is, the steak, when it has the fat in it, it gives it the flavor. I'm just saying. You also want to be careful of how, like I said, your food process. So knowing what they do it, how they do it, and how they keep the animals is very important as well, because they are central beings as well. They are beings. They hold energies. They hold frequencies. So do fruits and vegetables. But we don't think about that. Oh, well, they're fruits and vegetables. They're plants. Plants holds vibrations. If you are a spiritual worker, you know when your plant needs water, or when your plant is down and it's going out. The plant is not only cleaning out the air, but it's also filtering emotion in there for you to feel, if you know what I mean. There's different things that can be used to help you get in balance. This is why people have crystal grids. These are things that are older than time. When I was saying about the planet, and I'm saying what they're telling you, oh, the planet, we found out the planet is only 25,000 years old. The planet, this dimension right now, we're like 25 trillion, and it's been other things. We're the new kids on the block. And I'm going to say this again, as I've said it over and over again. We got gypped. We got dumber instead of smarter. Y'all talking about, oh, well, we're driving a car. Well, guess what? Where the time was before, they didn't have to drive a car. They could just go into a place and be in that other place, transformed in another place. And that's exactly where they were. But we forget that we're like, because we think we're the be all, because we're ahead of our time, because our ancestors, our earlier ancestors, they didn't know anything about a car. They was out there using a horse. They were like I said, they made us down to nothing, zero when we came back. And every 5,000 years, this come about of a new planet, because we're always destroying each other. They're like, look, watch them kill each other. Watch them destroy each other. Watch how they have these separatism. Oh, you're black, you're white, you're gay, you're straight. Oh, you're single, you're this, you're poor, you're rich. We start separating all these things, but that's not how they think. They think, okay, well, I am from Earth. I'm an Earthling. Now, don't get me started. There's some hybrids here. There's some people from different planets that are mixed together. So there's other beings like that we're not aware of. But what I'm saying is they come with knowledge. Some other beings have come with a destructive nature because of the planet they come from. So I know they're like, y'all really think she's out there. Again, like I said, as I told you 10 years ago, I don't care. You don't believe me? Look it up. Read a book. Don't go to the internet and read a book. Get a real hardback book. There's been tribes that talked about the Dogon tribes, where they come from. The original people here, and I say original, because everybody think that Native Americans look way. I'm sorry, but there's some Native Americans that had hair just like mine and had the color of my skin. Also in Sicily and Italy and Rome, all these countries you think, they had color and skin and hair. It was my nonna that told me about the Moors in that country. Why, when you talk to a Sicilian, they will tell you, even though they are part of Italy, they do not like to admit they're part of Italy. And she would say, I ain't part of Italy. And I said, how do you say that? Because it broke apart. At one time, this whole mass was connected together. So even though y'all think Columbus came and found these people, he didn't. There was the Moors already on the land, people of color, people of different nations that lived together. See, we need to get educated and understand your history, not her history, his history, their history. And it's even been proven in books. They said, when I write my history, I'm going to make sure my people look good. I'm going to make sure my people look good, because they're predicting and they're writing, they're taking notes, but it's not to your best ability. It's what they want, and it puts them in favor. They had to finally realize that they didn't know about slavery was wrong. They had to come to them and say, oh, we can't really talk about that too much. That don't look too good. You remember how everybody was excited when Roots came out? And they was watching it, and it was like a real soap opera, and everybody said, oh, we're on TV. But to see the destruction of what some of the ancestors might have went through, but people just see that part. And it, to me, it also leaves slave syndrome mind, a slave mind syndrome. Because that's all the thoughts you think. You're not a slave. They don't have to do what they did back then. Now they make you a slave to go to work. But we don't see it. It's modern day slavery. Why are we paying to live the way we are? I mean, like I said, this is full on thought full bottle of what I'm saying that we're not getting and how we need to connect as people. And they're like, love is the highest frequency there is. When you think of love, go in love. And some of us pretend, oh, I am love. Oh, yeah. Love doesn't say that you hate this person. Love shows you a way to get better. Love shows you a way to get where you need to get to.
Yeah.
Love goes inside your being when you walk, no matter what your love, you're thinking, okay, that is the energy I try to make sure I am not perfect, that I stay in. And I've had people come at me, and sometimes I let it go. You know what I mean? I let it go and do that because I'm like, this is of love. And then I'll make excuse they don't understand because they've had this in life and that in life. And I'll give you excuses. And then it's after a while, it's like, okay, how much am I going to be somebody's punching bag and when do I get right? But I have to realize, and that's what we all have to read. As much as you love other people, you got to love yourself too. In order for love to be reflected, you got to love yourself just as much. It's not just because you love yourself don't mean you love them less. It means I love me a lot more and I'm going to protect myself. There's a way to still give love, but not be in the interim of it where you're not getting it back. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a balance. And we don't understand that as people. I love Bob Marley songs. I like Tupac of what he said. And I know some people ain't going to agree with me. I even like Will Smith and some of the sayings that even though he's quoting other people, he lives up to some of the things that he's read and he believes in. The fact I've been wanting for him to make up with Janet, and when I seen that on the show of him giving her kudos as and apologizing and give her, I put that on my Facebook because that let me know he's a Libra. I'm a Libra. He's from Philly. I'm from Philly. I was born in Philly. You feel what I'm saying? That era, that spirit that's like, okay, because I wonder, like, how can he live like that? Because I like stuff he does. He's always supported. But like he said, he was young. He was young when he did that and did not understand, and he felt that he was being attacked. And that's how I feel a lot of us. We're always on attack. Like we're feeling we're being attacked because we don't know anything. When you really realize, when you come in to know yourself, really know yourself, not somebody saying, oh, you're a healer. You're going to be a healer, girl. When they tell it to you like that, you're like, okay, well, I'm a healer. But what does that entail? But you got to learn to love you. If you're so busy trying to fix other people, woo! When you fix you first, everything opens up. And sometimes we get in that mode. We're so busy fixing people that we don't fix ourselves because that's all we know how to do. It's a distraction from what's going on in our life that we're able to work. And I mean, let me rephrase that. I am not healing anyone. They are healing themselves. I am just the vessel, the instrument that source uses as a vibration to turn on the healing that's within them. Someone that comes to me, I am not a healer. I do not heal you. You heal yourself. I just turn on. I'm going to repeat this. I just turn on that energy that was dead within you to heal. I just gave you the vehicle for you to be able to be comfortable doing the work and accepting it. That's my job. I am the conductor that just help you get connected. But I'm not doing the work. But you still got to do the work. You still got to love me. When you get up, like I said, I was thinking about this today. I broke 4 of my toes. Okay. I walk with a limp. And I'm human. I'm vain. Okay. I'm vain. I want to walk all right. And because of that, also having that has an effect on how you walk, on how you look, and how people perceive you in a way. But this is what Spirit said, that is false eyes. Do you know what I mean by false eyes? When people look at you, they're looking at you with false eyes. They're
Yeah.
not seeing you. So when I thought about that and I was walking, I was like, you know what? I got 4 broken toes. Me doing something silly, always doing what I think I can. And I got subconscious about that. And I said, well, the only thing I can fix, if I don't like something, I need to fix it. And sometimes spirits tell you, sit your behind down somewhere and just go sit down because you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Okay, you out there doing this for other people. What are you doing for yourself? Okay, you're telling people to do this, but are you applying the same information that's good information to your own being? And I had to sit back and say, oh yeah. So when I walk with a limp and everything, went to go get my mail and everything and didn't worry about it. It's a certain energy that surges you when you start off on the right foot.
Yeah.
And as y'all heard me share, when I get up in the morning when it's a day, I like to start off with the meditation first when I get up. Drink my glass of water when I can. And I'm not saying I do this all the time, but a lot of times I can. Then after that, of doing the meditation, drinking the water, okay, I take my feet, I put them over the side of the bed, and I get up and I give thanks because I'm able to get up, I'm able to walk, I'm able to see with and without my glasses. Okay. So then I have mantras playing in the background.
Mhm.
And then I'll make my way to the bathroom, take care of my little as I'm washing myself, taking a shower. I'm saying thank you. And I'm saying love things to my whole entire body. I'm speaking love out. And as I'm speaking love to myself, I'm sending love out to the world because I'm saying, and as I'm doing that, I'm picturing how I want to see my day. And I want to see the love through it in the actions of what I'm going to do. And that starts me off and puts me in a great place. Sometimes it's like, and then I might get on a computer or whatever and proceed. And then, listen to my mantras, and sometimes they loud and sometimes I play the drums. It all depends on how my day I wanted to start, but starting to plan my day like that. But in the majority of it, I'm sending out love. You see in the things, you see how getting up, thinking love thoughts. First of all, meditating. And then after that, drinking the water to alkaline my body. Okay. Third, just putting my feet over and realizing that I can move, and gratitude. Going to the bathroom, okay, and doing all the essentials that I need to do. And as I take a shower, again, I'm giving thanks, okay. And then after that, fifth one is in my mind, I have set how I want my day and how I am going to be a blessing to myself and the things that I do that are going to be a blessing. That's 5 things I did before I even put on my darn clothes.
Yeah, and that's good because you're supposed to, well, you're supposed to make your bed because it's supposed to give you purpose. It's the first thing. Well, not, but you and I, we both have run the same circles because we've known each other for so long. And you chanted before, you were a Buddhist before, just like
Yep,
I was, except you used to chant Nam Myoho Renge Kyo. Now you're chanting what I used to chant, which are which are Hindu chants. So I've already went through that cycle of Hindu chant, but I still get up in the morning and I do stretch, and I still do the Om Namah Shivaya because what does it mean? Om Namah Shivaya. I bow down to my higher self.
I should.
Who's my higher self? God, the universe.
Right.
The energy. That's my higher purpose. That's my higher self. So I do that. I sit in bed and I stretch, and I make sure that I stretch my body really well and arch my back really well. I move my arms high. Why? Because I'm giving thanks and to the universe and letting them know that I'm grateful for everything. And on top of doing that, as I'm chanting, I'm also asking the universe to make me a better person every day and to help me so that I can help others. And that's my only aspiration. You know what I'm saying? People have many aspirations. I've already done a great deal of things in my life, and how I always tell you, if I leave tomorrow, I can honestly say that everything that I've wanted, I've done. So many people, there's not many people in this world that can say that, but I have. I have done everything at this particular time in the moment in time right now, as I'm 54. Everything that I've ever wanted to do, I've done. So at the end of the day, I get this by doing what I do, the mantras that I do, just like you do in the morning. I mean, I don't go to the extent that you do. I, you know, I mean, 5 minutes of breathing, especially breathing, because people take breath for granted. Breathing is very important. And I'm talking about you get up in the morning, you sit in bed and you arch your body. You make sure that your body is as straight as it can be, and you breathe in as deep as you can. And as you're breathing in, your stomach is coming out. So you breathe, and when you release it, you open your mouth slowly, just until it's empty. And if you do that a few times, you're fine. If you can move your arms to the side and just stretch them up, just stretch up as high as you can go, and move your body to the side and stretch and move to the side. And then, you work on by being grateful. I live in the gratitude of being able to do this. And I think that is purpose. That's purposeful. When you decide to become a vegan, or you decide to become a vegetarian, and you start buying organic, or you start doing your own stuff, that right there is showing the universe, you know what, I believe in you. I believe in the universe. So therefore, you believe in the universe enough to plant and to see what you're growing and eating what you're growing. So I just think that anything that we do with sole purpose of just being kind and loving, not just to ourselves, but also reminding the universe that we live in gratitude, because that's the biggest lesson, gratitude. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people wake up in the morning with this attitude like, oh my Lord, I woke up again. Another day of the same BS. Well, guess what? You know what? There are people living all over the world that are living, and they're wishing that they had, you know, and they give thanks. They give thanks to the universe and to God just for getting an apple or just something to eat, whatever
Yes.
it is. So we send them love. We send India love. We send Africa love. We send all these poor countries that the children are going through all these things. We send them love. Why? Because love is the most important thing. The most important key is of our foundation. And this is the only way that we're going to save this planet, whether people believe it or not. We have to gather in big numbers and go to the ocean and tell Ia, which is Mother, tell Mother Earth, you know what, we're happy. You're happy. We love you. And we're grateful for you because we need you, and go to the fields where you often forget about and thank, the universe and Mother Nature. We honor you. We love you. The sky. Thank you for the sky and for everything. And you know what? And stop being a jerk and just, do things. It's okay to say, you know what? I am a tree hugger. Big deal. Trees have feelings. Everything in this planet has feelings. At the end of the day, it's like people, if you really think about the love thing, people have lost their god darn it mind, because people not only hunt for animals, they hunt people. They
Yeah.
hunt people.
That's
You
a
you
that's a
you
rich man's sport.
Yeah, you see that with trafficking. I mean, how can you traffic children and have a clean conscience that, there's so much negativity and sadness happening in the world. Why would you even do that? All for money, all for pieces of paper that at the end of the day you're never going to take with you. You know, so I believe in love. I can't say that I can't say that I'm a fan of love. You know that. You know me, so you know that I don't really understand the love as far as relationships. But I do understand the love of humanity. And like I said before, quite a while ago, maybe like a month ago, when I said, and I think the second or third podcast, or I said, I love humanity. I'm not a fan of people, but I love humanity. And people don't get it sometimes. They're like, how can you love humanity and not love people? Well, because you know what, humanity as a whole, collectively, humanity in a whole, we're impressive. We can do so many things, you know, if we're together in a group, and it's like you said, love, and we're loving each other, and we're vibing with each other, and we're exchanging nothing but light and love. Humanity is amazing. Humanity is not a body. Humanity is when you're in your spiritual form. But humans, they take things for granted. We as humans take things for granted sometimes. Like we don't realize that the simplest thing is a pleasure to stay home and do nothing, or to do nothing, like to just
Mhm.
relax. You know, some people take that for granted. You know, and there are many things people take for granted. But what I one of the
Your
things that
God,
you,
your godson is on here.
my godson, yeah, what did he say?
You heard me? Uh-oh. He said,
Oh,
hey, it's your godson.
uh-huh. One thing but did he say
Can you
anything?
see it? No, it just said, hey, it's your godson. That was it.
No. Yeah.
We love
He
you.
actually he actually I love you guys too. They actually listen and they watch us. You know what I'm saying? They watch you and they know my godchildren, they know I'm not crazy. I mean, anybody who wants to test to see if I'm crazy, get read by me and I'll show you how crazy I am. Or get read by her. Get read by her. She'll show you how crazy she is. No, it's reality because when we start talking about their personal stuff and get into their business, of the stuff that they're
Ooh.
doing,
Oh my
with,
gosh, you're making my chest hurt. Ooh.
then all of a sudden they
Ooh.
start to back down. Like, oh my God, this person knows that I'm having an affair. Yeah, we know everything because Spirit tells us everything, every dirty little secret of yours. So if you want to try us, test us. You'll see. You will see. We're not saying
Sometimes I think people cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. You know, that's my
yeah.
saying.
Yes, and that's why whenever I read people, like I had a client this morning, I asked her, I said, if what I'm saying to you is not real, please let me know. And
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, you're on point with everything, and it was scary. It's not scary. It's scary when they're telling you things that you've already know that that has happened, and you somehow the doors closed, and you open it
Mm-hmm.
up, and you make them aware that they're going through an awakening. And that's what I feel proud of. The love that I give every client that calls me, I give them love and light. They use to get people to look at us
Yep.
sideways.
Done.
Yep, yep. You're absolutely right, baby boy. You're absolutely right. People look at us
I
sideways
know.
when you tell them things. And you know what? I remember at school when I was young, Dr. D, I remember I was young telling somebody, you have a brother? Yeah, I have my older brother. I'm like, your brother be riding a bike? Yeah, tell him to be careful because I see him getting hit by a car. Boom. The brother gets hit by a car in 2 days. And then he goes, you did this. You did this. I'm like, okay,
Mm-mm.
but okay.
Period.
So, like I said, anyone out there, even if you're a medium out there and you think that we're talking too much or we give too much to people, where we're giving love because that's what we're doing, and it's free. We don't charge for it. But if you want to test us, let us read you. We'll show you. We'll show you. that this is not a game and this is not a joke. It's not about I see your mother, I see your father, and I see the spirit behind you, because not all ancestors walk with you. Not all spirits walk with
Ashe,
you.
say it again, say it again. Yes, yes, yes.
Because
I'm
people
sorry.
always say, well, my nana died a week ago, but she walks with me. I know her spirit walks with me. No, she doesn't. She's gone. Spirits have to make their own transition before they can become part of you again. And it's simple. But a lot of people that are mediums, they know. They'll say, well, this spirit is it's okay. They're in a better place. They're in a better place.
Mhm.
I I've heard this my whole life. Like, they use that whole thing. They're in a better place. They're with so and so. Did you have a dog? Do you have a dog? Oh, well, they're there with the dog. Really? Really?
Uh-uh.
My thing is, okay, and my favorite is when you, and I'm not naming names, but my favorite is, well, I'm looking around the room. Did someone have somebody to die? The name starts with a D. It starts with a D. Now I'm getting an H, and it's coming from this. Come on, really? Really? Tell people. You don't have to be so precise. You tell them what spirit is telling you to tell them. Give them the message that they want to hear. That's it. Don't give me this whole thing. Well, you know what? I gave you an angel reading because the angel, first of all, I don't know anybody who knows an angel. I know by name. I can tell you that I've actually seen, an angel. And the way it appeared, it scared the hell out of me when he came into my room. Scared the hell out of me. But what I can say is that they're not tiny like everybody thinks they are. Like, they're normal. They're not normal. They're huge as hell. They are giants.
Uh-huh.
I
They're
mean,
bigger than
really
the Nephilians, the giants that was there. And they
big.
freaked out. But remember, well, like, okay, I don't want to give too much. Remember about the dream about the person from the water to land. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that they were a mermaid. Like, people think
Mm-hmm.
mermaids are little tiny, like tiny little fish, like cute, like Ariel.
No, they're big.
But no. And that will shock the crap out of you because you start thinking. So then I got in my mind, guess what? I want to swim. I want to swim with the whales. My mother thought I was losing my mind. She said, "You want to do what?" I said, "I want to swim with the whales." I didn't tell you that after I had that dream that I wanted to swim.
No,
Yes,
you didn't even say dolphins. You said whales.
yes, whales. I wanted, and I started doing the whale watch. And in Hawaii. And then I was traveling because they go to Hawaii during a certain time in the month, and then they go to Florida and other places. And I was like, okay, well, one day I'm gonna get in the water and I'm gonna be able to swim with these. And they
Oh,
were like, Ceci, you didn't say. I said, I don't want to see no dolphin. I like them nice, but I want a whale. I want to see the whales. And unfortunately, the submarine tours when I was in Hawaii, um, it wasn't running that month. I was like, see, y'all didn't want me to encounter my brothers. I was saying in my head, but you know what I mean? Because for people that don't know, do y'all realize the origin of a dolphin? Like, the dolphin was a mammal that
mhm.
walked on land and went into the ocean. You get what I'm saying? We we don't really know. And that's what I'm saying. It's so much stuff we take for granted.
Well, wasn't the those mountains? What do you call them? Those mountains,
In Hawaii, you mean?
Nevada, like near a lot near Las Vegas. The mountain, where people go all the time just to see them. The mountains.
Okay. I haven't been there, but I'm close enough. That might be a trip worth taking. I'm
But
gonna find out because that's what I want to see.
you know what I'm talking about, right? Those mountains that
Mhm.
everybody goes to see them. Well, supposedly, according to scientists, at that one point there was water because
Right.
they have found like little fishes dead, like the on the
The
rocks and stuff.
fossils. The
So you know
fossils.
what? They realize, or they come to terms that through the ice age or whatever, it occurred. But all of that, as beautiful as the landscape is, that was all water. And what once was will always be. That
Ashe.
that is one thing. It's like the legend of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a diamond shape. I don't know if you know that. Puerto Rico in the bottom is a diamond shape. And in legend
Mm.
says Puerto Rico rose from the sea. And the same way that Puerto Rico rose from the sea, it will go back into the sea.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that at all.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
know Hawaii rose from the sea. And matter of fact, they even tell you that the big island was just made of nothing but lava.
Yeah.
And if you go to the bottom of the big island, you'll see it's like a pyramid.
The
That the
same
big island,
the same thing as Puerto
believe it
Rico.
or not, it's just nothing but a big old, well, no, we won't say diamond, we'll say a pyramid at the bottom. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, it wasn't really, they got recognized of that because of a boy during the time was playing with the tiger sharks and got drugged down in there, and they were not going all the way down there to the bottom of it to get him untangled. And he was from Australia. He wanted to swim with the sharks. Now that I don't want to do. The dolphins are something. I mean, the dolphins, I don't want to swim with them either. I like them and I see them, but I don't want to swim with them. I want to swim with the whales.
You want to swim with big creatures.
Yes.
Big
Yes.
creatures.
I know. I know what they look like.
Oh my
I
God.
trust me.
And
When I
trust
get my
me,
chance.
and trust me, guys. I've known her for 20 something years. When she says something, she always ends up doing it. Don't know how, but she will get there. And she
You
will
hit it.
be in the ocean with whales.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I'm waiting for it. Just show me the way. Show me the way, and I will get there soon. But all right, people. Is he said, is that's why there's so many earthquakes? The Himalayas.
What? What about it?
Is
Why?
that's why there's so many earthquakes?
Why? I mean, what does he mean? What is he asking? If
Okay.
What is the reason why?
Okay. All right, hold on. He's saying why?
Like the question is that why there's so many earthquakes? But if there's so many earthquakes, what is he asking? I mean, there's
That's what I'm
earthquakes.
asking. I just said why.
This happening everywhere. There's earthquakes happening everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
when I
that's like
when I talk about
same.
The Rocky Mountains, the Rocky Mountains were water. Now, these islands we're talking about, the reason there's earthquakes in Puerto Rico and there's so many earthquakes has everything to do with the plates. The plates
Mm-hmm.
are shifting. The plates are shifting, and the more people dig, and the more people look for oil, and the more people look for stuff under the sea, these plates are going to keep shifting because no one look. We've explored the sky, we've explored the moon, but we have never ever explored the ocean. We don't really know what's in the ocean. We don't know what's in the depths of the ocean. Do you understand?
Yep.
Puerto Rico has a section that they can see from space that they've never been able to figure it out. What it's like a couple of lines, and they don't know exactly what it is. But Puerto Rico has spaces or places inside the ocean that are so deep that's black. They can't go in there. No one's been there. So
Right.
the ocean, to me, I understand.
Oh. Okay. Said you said what once was will be again. So is that why Puerto Rico is having earthquakes?
Puerto Rico's having earthquake because they're building too many things. Two, they were actually digging not too long ago. They were actually digging. That's what started the first earthquake. They were digging for oil. Puerto Rico has oil. They were digging in the ocean, and it shifted the plate, and that's why it started to get crazy. So, Puerto Rico basically stopped that. But at the end of the day, it's an island, And I believe that at one point every island that's an island will disappear. Do you know what is it? The Maldives Island, something like that. Maldives, is it the Maldives? Uh,
Multivite, multivite.
no, Maldives, is it Maldives, the islands. Those islands that are in the Caribbean that are tiny that a lot of rich people go to. Those islands are the water is taking over. I mean, like the water is literally taking over. Okay, so these little islands or these little resorts that people think, oh, we're gonna go here because only the wealthy go. Well, guess what? They're not gonna exist in a couple of years because the water's climbing. Here in West Palm Beach, you can go to Palm Beach and notice how fast the water is climbing. The water is climbing. I've seen brand new structured building being built and then they tilt because the structure is too heavy. And that's because they're building so close to the ocean, thinking, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, yes, the answer is yes. What has come will go back to where
Ooh,
what?
I'm sorry. I think aliens hid in the ocean so we can't find them.
No,
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. My mother used to
yeah,
work.
and Mount Shasta? Isn't that what we say? Mount Shasta and that lake of Mount Shasta. Remember in
Yeah,
California?
but you know what? My mom said when she was a little girl that she remembers a girl that was in her neighborhood when she was little. She's talking about when she was like 4 or 5. It was in her neighborhood. It was their fields and stuff like that. They lived in wood houses, and she said that there was a girl that was abducted, and her story was that she was taken to the bottom of the ocean and there was life down there and there were so many people down there that have been missing for years, and then they brought her home, they showed her some things, and they sent her back with the message. What message? No one really knows, but my mother remembers that clearly, and she always says that. She goes, they live in the sea, and the sea will come up and then they will they will live, you know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like Atlantis. People
Hmm.
people think that it doesn't exist. I
It
think
does.
I always tell you this. I don't believe that the human mind is that powerful to make up beings. I don't believe that the brain is that powerful that is going to bring up and create monsters. I believe that everything that has been written about every kind of, whether it be vampire, whether it be this, I believe that everything is real. Because if these things were not real, people can't just make this up. Do you understand?
Hmm.
There has to be something real behind it all,
Yep.
and that's just the way I look at reality. Like I don't. People come to me and tell me things. I saw this, and I just, what am I saying? I can't say anything. You know, I see, I see,
It's
I see all kinds of things,
But people, he was saying that he believed the aliens will show themselves. They have. They have shown themselves to many people
and
at
they
many
wanted to show
times.
themselves to us. They wanted to show themselves to us,
Right.
but the government won't let them.
Hmm. Because they said first it would cause hysteria because of they did a testing. What was that name? Orson Welles, not Orson. You know that thing where they thought the aliens coming and everybody was freaking out in the 1940s when they was watching Twilight Zone, and it wasn't. They said it wasn't really an alien, but it was. It was a testing to see how you people would react. So what
Mm.
they did is just like the balloons and all that other stuff that they think. I'm just saying, you guys take it or leave it. Do your
Well,
research. I
how many,
mean,
how many people have been abducted? How many records of people have been abducted? How many people have gone to labs and they have removed metal pieces that are inside of them that are, what do you call those? Like nanotechnology that
yep.
have existed, but we never made it exist. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, there's a woman who created a cure for cancer in Africa,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
she's using nanotechnology. But you know what? Pretty soon she ain't gonna have credit for it.
Because they're gonna take over.
Yeah, So pretty soon, she ain't gonna have credit. But I'm letting you guys know, if you guys don't know, one woman, I don't know her name, but she is from Africa, and she did create and found a cure for cancer using nanotechnology. So if you don't ever hear about her, you heard about her here. She does
Yep.
exist. It's real. So I
It's a lot of stuff. So we're gonna pick this up tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you some places that you can go and what you can do to prepare yourself. Because, like I told you, it's getting turbulent times, and I've been saying, like I said, right after election, it's going to get ugly, and sure enough, it did get ugly, and I
and,
mean
and it's
ugly in
still
the
gonna
sense
get
of
ugly.
right. And I said that it was going to even get even worse. Even after election, it was going to get ugly. And what did they do? They had a second shutdown conveniently. We're shut down in California for 3 weeks. I don't know what anybody else is.
Really?
And oh yeah, we're shut down for 3 weeks. The only people allowed to be out is if they're much needed, like the post office, doctors, hospitals workers. What else? People can go to work to like McDonald's and Burger King and stuff, so it's not completely shut down. But they can't eat in the restaurant. They got now. They really have to eat outside. They have these things that that is their laws, but they don't understand. I want everybody to get a bottle of Lysol spray and read on the back of it, and you're going to see Corona. Okay? So that's to even show you. Only thing that says with any diseases, they start to adapt. Why do you think people can't take essential workers? Why do you think they can't take penicillin? Because their body builds a resistance to it.
Because we were given penicillin so much when we were in the 60s, 70s, 80s, they were shoving it up our arms like it was candy every time you got sick. So our body got used to it.
Yeah, well, I can't take. I've been allergic to penicillin, even as a kid,
My brother,
and
so
and I'm glad. The only thing is, like I said, I did not get sick a lot. I got maybe sick 3 times in my 18 years of living and being, and it was always my tonsils. And now I realize that throat chakra stuff that I wanted to say, I wouldn't say. I couldn't say. But that is from a spiritual point of view. But I had always had tonsils, and they wanted to take my tonsils out.
yeah.
And I never got my tonsils taken out. But I also was a sensitive kid. And I think children that are gifted are very sensitive to soaps and foods and stuff. I was not your typical kid.
And that's the thing, that when children are allergic to things, guys, don't allow the doctors to probe them. Just they're your child. If they're allergic to this food, you know what? Give them something else. Find
Ashe.
out where their allergies are coming from. It's simple. It's simple, you know? I mean, unless the baby's throat is closing, then I understand you rush into the hospital. But if it's just a little mild allergy, give them some milk.
Okay. I get you. He's just saying hello.
Hi.
This is Twitch. So that's what I learned. So now I understand why I'm meticulous, or how I clean a certain way. And it also didn't help that I went into the military. So it also didn't help. My stepfather was a military person, and he cleaned like he was still in the military. And there was what we talk about, what we're talking about is things that were, what are we talking about now? We done jumped all over the place about the prophetic and saying things
Well,
and
we were
believing
talking
things.
about, to answer your question, we were talking about, that there's life on this planet,
And
and
other planets.
then we went into, the allergies, I mean, we're always all over the place. That's who we are. That's who we are.
But yeah, so I'm just the allergies. I think play a part in why why I like things a certain way. Organize. Why can't I
Organizing.
get my words in?
Organizing.
Organizing.
Well, no, like you said,
Organizing.
you said the military too. You said the military too, so that teaches
Yeah.
you organization skills to make sure that everything.
No, I was a little bit more anal retentive than my person, believe it or not. And
I
matter of fact, I wasn't a good soldier.
I
I was
still
telling
am.
them what to do in boot camp, and they got scared and they called my dad. So I wasn't a good military person because you don't tell me something like, "Oh," he said to me, "We're gonna make it rain," and I'm like, and now we're in here doing exercises, and he said, if y'all don't do this, we're gonna make it rain in this where was our bunk or whatever or latrine or whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, okay, I want to see it rain. See, I'm that type. I'm that type. I want to see it. He said he gonna make it rain in the house and here in an open thing. I wanted to see that. I said, okay, maybe they got a machine or something. So I'm like, I want to see this.
Only you.
When it came to graduation, ooh, when he came to my dad said, you gotta understand. She's from the military. She's had military. I used to do the weekend warrior thing with him as a kid. And I knew what they do. It was intimidation. And I wasn't going to be intimidated by nobody. And still today, I'm the same way. I'm just not going to do it. So you tell me something and I want to see it for myself.
Yeah, well,
And it didn't happen. The rain inside didn't happen. All he did was making people work out. I was like, that's no fun. And
believe
back
me,
then,
intimidation is still going on.
of
Intimidation
course,
is on. It people don't realize it, but it's like there are people who cannot live without this.
I can. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm glad you said that. What I did is I keep my phones in another room altogether and I go to sleep. At first, I used to have them in my bedroom and go to sleep. I'm like, nope. I shut everything down. And matter of fact, when I go outside my house, my phone stays in the house and I go and do what I gotta do.
You have to because
And it's
you
I'm
have to.
learning like remember back in the day when we had those the plug-in phone? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh gosh. Okay, now you heard yourself.
Wow.
we you didn't hear yourself? Um the video started playing on my phone. When I picked it up, it went straight to where we are live. So what I was saying, you remember the phones that they used to plug in the wall back in the day? So you knew that the only way people were going to get a phone calls if they were home, correct?
Yes.
Now, and that wasn't important. And I believe the same way. If you need to talk to me, you can talk to me when I'm home. If I'm out and about taking care of business, then I really don't need to be talking to you. I use my phone for GPS, but now I've gotten to the point I said, I'm just going to learn where I live at. Why should I take a GPS and figure it out? You know what I mean? I don't need my phone to get where I need to do. So it all depends on what you want to do. So I'm gonna say to you, my friend out there today, everybody needs to clean themselves out every seasonal change. Everybody needs to do some kind of form of movement. Women, whether it's belly dancing, Falun Dafa, Tai Chi, Qigong, some kind of movement to get your body in alignment. Also, we need to do exercises of the mind, doing affirmation, doing prayer. Somebody wrote you back.
Mm. Well,
Doing prayers, affirmation, mantras, whatever. Now I'm telling people how to get their body in balance and mind, and pay particular attention about even the product you use to wash your hair, because everybody wants to have long hair, right? Everybody wants to have long hair. Why? Do you know what hair really is? All it is dead follicles. Dead follicles. So, what is important about long locks? Seriously. Why is it important? Your nails grow.
The
They're dead.
Native Americans believed that their hair was connected to the universe, and they can feel the vibrations of the planet and of
Yeah.
Mother Earth through their
Rasta
hair.
too. Rasta too. And so the chemist said that when your hair grows, I mean, I'm just saying it's your antennas, but these people don't know why they want their hair long is what I'm getting at. If it's a spiritual purpose, like they were saying, when you get locks, there's a spiritual purpose behind getting locks. But
Yes.
everybody wants to imitate and be like it and does not understand the culture or the meaning behind what they're getting and putting on their body. And
Yeah.
sometimes that energy is too heavy for them and they actually lose life. Because if you're not ready for that, then don't put it on yourself. And that is a spiritual thing. Um, don't think it's not. It does. And it is a communicating device. It's like little antennas. It gives you clarity. But you also got to eat right. You also got to do the right thing. So if you're not eating right, you're not drinking the right things, you're not in the right company, support, all of that affects every way how you do things. I'm just saying. Oh, I thought it was you.
It is.
Oh, okay. I understand. All right, everybody. It's been real. And this is the longest. I know we did a 2 hour
Very,
first night.
very, very real. Very, very, very real. And
Yeah.
you've heard our rants, and you've heard us go on these tangents, but the reality is that being who we are, that's who we are. We go on tangents because there's so many things in our brains, in our mind, the spirit wants us to talk about that it'll take like maybe 1,000 tapings before we even spit out half of what we know.
Hmm.
But I want to thank everyone for always being so diligent and kind and respectful when you come on here. So I will see you guys soon.
Okay. All right, I wanted to put that out. They said already you must have emergency with water, vitamins, first aid kits, and compass and nice, and that's true. And I said everyone also should have these water, food, supplies, and everything, all of that. These for 3 months to years, and
Handle.
supplies in the closet for them. Candles as well, clothes, dry goods, things that are not going to rot. These are things everyone should have for them to be able to live successfully, as well as water, and put them in a BPA container. Just giving you a heads up would be also wonderful for you to have.
Hmm. I agree.
I get what you, it's called emergency kit, but that's a little bag. But what I'm saying, you have a supply. That's why they had the pandemonium supplies or end stage preppers. That's what they've been doing. Why do you think they're putting that on TV? But that's a subject for another day. I'm just saying. We're going to leave on that note, and I hope everybody enjoy it. If you are not a subscriber, please go to YouTube and blah, 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 blah. Subscribe to me channel. Okay? Like. That's like. When you subscribe, click on the bell. When you click on the bell, I tell you, click on the bell. It will give you notifications when we have another show. So, also, if you're on BTR and you want to make a phone call, please write this number down so you can be heard. 563-999-3007. Push the number 1 button, and I'll come over and I'll pick up the phone and say, hello. Would you like to have something to say? I'm making fun of everybody, so I make fun of myself. So these are the things you can do. I appreciate your support and all the love. If you're on Twitch, please subscribe to my channel on Twitch, Facebook, and like my page on Dr. D'Angelo PhD. And we will be good. So you have been Coffee with Ori, and of course me, Dr. D. I'm
Take
so
care.
lovely. And we're going to say, Ciao la bella.
Ciao, Bella. Speak to you soon.
In. It don't want to end.
It will.